Hi, World Tempest family. Thanks for joining us fresh in 2022 for yet another hands-on session with the showcase. I'm here in Isa, half an hour's drive away from Geneva, with Romain Marietta from Zenith. And as you guys may already be anticipating, as you know, we are in the middle of LVMH Watch Week right now. And I guess you can expect that there will be some exciting things to be revealed to you in just a few minutes. Some of you may already be familiar with, those of you who love the brand Zenith have been following it for a long time, you may already be familiar with Romain, but for those of you who are not, would you be able to give us a couple of lines to introduce yourself?
Absolutely, thank you very much indeed, Suzanne. I'm Romain Marietta. Hi everyone. I'm the Product Development and Heritage Director at Zenith, working for the brand since more than 15 years. And it is my absolute pleasure to be there during the LVMH Watch Week and to reveal some of the novelties we are introducing this week for 2022.
Now, before we jump straight into the novelties, I want to remind you of something that you may have missed last week, or you might have been really excited about it last week, but it was just launched. A new watch from the Defy collection. And I could step a bit more into the camera, that would be good. Tell us what we're looking at.
We are looking at a revival, a Defy revival, our very first own revival in the Defy collection, which is the Defy A3642, which is basically the very first Defy with a Y that we introduced as a wristwatch in 1969. It's a 37 millimeter steel case, our very own first octagonal shape case that we did on a wristwatch, part of the Defy collection, as I said. The Defy collection was introduced in our history in 1902 for pocket watches. The name Defy was with a he and not with a Y, and then we swapped from the he to the Y in 1969, and here you have a look at the revival we did with this funky, cool gradient dial with specific indices that we called together with Suzanne, the Toblerone indices. This is a watch powered by our very own manufacturer Elite movement, which was not the case back in 1969 because the Elite movement was not existing. And as I said, it's an octagonal shaped case with a very specific 12-sided bezel, which is here on the top of the case. You can clearly see the different facets of the watch, and the screw-in crown, the water resistant to 300 meters, the open case back, which is a twist that we have done compared to the original one. Strapped with a metal bracelet, with a reproduction, the revival also of the ladder bracelet, which has been already introduced in the Chronomaster revival we did since 2019, and that's going to be a limited edition of 250 units.
Now, this is the historical model side by side with the revival, and I think you can see that it's really a strong, faithful homage or tribute to really what was done before.
Yeah, we did a laser measurement of the case to be able to reproduce the case as faithfully as possible. It's, as I said, this very specific bezel, 14-sided, 14-sided bezel, which is very kind of unique. And with this gradient dial, the date indication at 4:30, which is also something very unique to Zenith. Part of the history since 1969. This watch was nicknamed at that time the time safe of precision, because one of the main purposes of that watch was to defy the elements, defy the different impacts coming from external part of the watch, to be dust-proof, waterproof, shock-proof. Those watches were equipped with movement on bumpers to avoid shocks. So the main purpose of that watch's Defy at that time was robustness, and it's exactly what drive us nowadays with the Defy collection, to keep on, I would say, make that spirit live for the years to come, with being robust, being accurate, reliable, precise, and stand the test of time.
Now, we noticed, obviously, you mentioned the open case bag, which is a departure from the original, the first model, and we can see that it's powered by the Zenith Elite caliber.
Yeah, absolutely. On all the revival, when we recreate watches, and that we don't want to completely recreate the past, we also allow ourselves to do some twist, and nowadays we really want to highlight our movements and to show them and to demonstrate our technicity, I would say, embarked in the watch. Obviously, the original ones were with closed case back for obvious reason.
Exactly.
So you can have a look here at the original one and the one we are now introducing 53 years after. And of course, we are now highlighting our movements by putting a sapphire crystal. And here you can see the old Zenith logo with the four branch star, which will be also I would say a red line in our creation.
So tell us, what is the name of the new collection that is being presented right this week during LVMH Watch Week, debuting worldwide right now?
Well, we have a new line, very important for us, a very important development for the future of the brand, which is the Defy Skyline. It's all new, I would say, entry line in our manufacture segment within the Defy collection, which is one of the two main pillars, strategical pillar of our collection. The Defy collection is the cradle of innovation. It's a playground. It's where we can have fun, I would say, the most, where we can push ourselves, push the boundaries of innovation, of high frequency. And here we are introducing this the quintessential, I would say, Defy model with a lot of legacy coming from the past, obviously from the 3642, but also really, I would say, looking at the future and our own vision of the watchmaking business for our brand. So this is the Defy Skyline, where we can see that we have this angular case, octagonal angular case that has been already introduced to you before with the 3642. So this is a change, a major change compared to the existing Defy Classic that we are basically replacing with this watch. We are giving more angles, more edges to that watch, more character. We also inspired ourselves for the bezel, obviously here, from 14-sided bezel to 12, which is here the twist, a modern twist to this one that we are introducing, but it's directly linked to the original 3642. It gives more light, it gives more possibility of finishings for the watch. It's a steel model like was the original Defy from 1969. It's a 41mm case, not a 37, of course. It's unisex. It has a screw-in crown. It has, of course, brand new indices and hands, and basically also one of the major changes, the dial that you can see here with a pattern, a very specific pattern where we inspired ourselves from the four-sided branch logo that you have seen on the case back of the watch before, and that we have aligned perfectly as a pattern here, guilloché, so engraved inside the dial. And you may have also see that something is happening also on the small second, very fast, very it's kind of intricate, but basically here it's also a major change for the Defy collection line. We are coming from an elite movement to an El Primero movement with a three hands indication for the first time, and here you have a counters indicating you the tenth of a second, which is part of the DNA of the brand, which is something that has never been done. It's a complication that nobody has, and this is also one of the major USP of that watch, to have a running tenth of a second counter with a date indication, because it's very also I would say important to have the date nowadays. It's a fully interchangeable model with the straps, meaning that we have here the definition, the very definition of a high luxury sport watch with an integrated bracelet, but the watches are also available on rubber. It's included in the package, it's included in the global price of the watch, meaning that you are having the watch delivered on metal, and included with the watch you get a rubber strap with a folding buckle, completely and fully interchangeable, thanks to our interchangeable strap system that we have developed since 2020 and introduced with the Defy Midnight collection, and then in the Defy Extreme, by simply pressing on the pushers on the back, on the case back of the watch, you can release the strap and you can swap from the metal to the rubber. We have 3 different dial variation. We have the blue here that just disappeared from the screen. We have here the silver face, which is also available, and we also are introducing a black version of that watch, always sunray finishings.
I think it's a great size. What's the diameter again of this
41 millimeter. So it's basically the same size as we used to have on the former now Defy Classic model, which has been introduced in 2018, and that we are now I would say reworking with this introduction of the Skyline.
Mm-hmm. And this one that I've got on right now, what's the diameter of this one?
It's the same. It's also 41 millimeters. There's no,
there's no
other size and no
downside.
variation for the time being. We are introducing one single size, which is 41, which is unisex. We are not giving, I would say, gender to this watch.
Mm-hmm. I like that. You know, that's a strong thing.
I know it's a strong argument for you. But that's true. That's definitely true.
But you can see that, you know, even though I don't know why I had this impression that the one with black dial was slightly smaller, but because it fits really well even on a small wrist like mine, and my wrist is tiny, I'll tell you that. It's like 13 centimeters in circumference or something really ridiculous like that. But as you can see, it fits really well. It goes really well for a more contemporary, strong look on the wrist, and obviously for the larger wrist, it looks very much at home as well. So it's really a matter of what your taste is in terms of what you prefer in terms of the dial color, in terms of whether you go for the bracelet or something on the strap, which, you know, there's a blue variation as well, rubber. And I demonstrated really poorly just now what it's like to actually do the change, but they're actually a lot easier than that once you can actually have your eyes on them and do it. So it's literally, I'm going to try it again on screen. So
you press and then
as
you
can
release
see,
by
there's a
going...
little button on the back of the case, right there. You press and
then you release by doing this. You press and then you release by going as
there
simple
you go.
as this. And then you're coming from the top like this, and then you click it. And you hear the sound. It's safe. It's really easy. It's really takes like 3 seconds to change your strap.
So in order to maybe replace my absolutely terrible on-screen demonstration of it earlier, would you be able to do it in the close-up for our audience?
Yeah.
So here goes.
So you have the system here. Very simple. You
can just point
press
to where the button is. Well, there it is.
You can see here our system, how it works. You have these hooks here that are coming side by side to the case, and then you're coming from the top, and then you release, and it's fixed and attached to the case.
Okay.
Very safely.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how an expert does it. So, but you know, watching you demonstrate it, I'm sure that, you know, just with a couple of tries, all of you can be experts at changing a Zenith strap. It does look extremely easy to use. Like, don't take my effort as any kind of indication of how easy it is to change the strap or not.
Please, because it's way more simple than this.
I tried.
No,
you know,
fine.
I wasn't even looking.
You need like 3 or 4 times to do it, and then you have the.
And it also helps to be able to see the watch while you're doing it. Obviously, like this guy can do it probably with his eyes closed, but you know, it's not the same with everyone. So that's why he's head of product at Zenith, and I'm just a reporter. Now, thank you so much for sharing this. The new watches of LVMH Watch Week coming from Zenith. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience? See, I'm really bad because I'm going to do this to him on screen, on video. Like, are there any like exciting teasers that you can give us about the coming year ahead? What can we expect to be excited about from Zenith?
Well, it's I mean, we as you mentioned, we are on a very good momentum since few years. We are working on our global collection, but specifically on Defy and Chronomaster, which are the 2 main pillars of our collection. But there's some exciting stuff coming in Chronomaster for Watch and Wonders, which is, I would say, in less than three months. We have also something cooking in the pilot collection. We have something very new that will come at the end of the year, which is a teaser for you. It's a big novelty for us. We're gonna, I would say, rejuvenate a bit the pilot collection, which is once again very historical for our brand. And then in the futures, years to come, as introduced in Defy Extreme, but also with the Skyline, with this new bezel, this new character, these new angles and hedges that we are giving to the watch. You can also anticipate what we're gonna do for the rest of the Defy collection, but we have also more surprise coming. I also want to point out that with the introduction of the Revival 3642, we are, I would say, opening the doors of creating more Revival than what we did since 3 years and since the anniversary of the El Primero in 2019. We were focusing our attention on Chronomaster, but now we are entering the world of Defy, and there's a lot of possibility with Defy collection. And then by also the rejuvenation, the refresh of pilots, we can also anticipate more stuff coming, and I'm sure that a lot of people will be excited about this.
I'm excited already. I feel like I'm not sure if he's told us too much, but
No.
no, it's fine. What he tells us is completely fine. You know, he's the big guy at Zenith, so we can relax. It's fine. If he says it's okay, it's okay. Right, so thank you so much once more for joining us on this session. Thank you, Romain, for being with us and for sharing with us so much and giving us such a great storytelling and explaining everything to us from A to Z, from A to Zenith.
To Zenith, of course.
Have a great week ahead. Enjoy the rest of the novelties coming out of LVMH Watch Week, and subscribe to our channel and like this video if you'd like to see more content like this. See you guys soon.
Ciao.